Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be my first video of Vlogmas. I thought that the first video, it would be good for me to show you what I'm planning on reading this month. I have like 9 books, which is kind of a lot for me. I used to be able to read 9 books easily within a month, but lately I haven't been able to read as much as I would like, in a month. So this is kind of a high goal, but we'll see. Hopefully I can read all of them. My Goodreads goal for this past year, I think, was 40 books or 50. I can't remember, but I'm not anywhere close to finishing that. So I'm not really concerned about trying to meet that goal. It's impossible at this point, but I do want to at least try to read a lot more books before the end of the year, just because this year has been not a very good reading year for me. I think I've read 25 books, which is not my usual amount. So hopefully these will boost that. But before I get into it, I'm sure you have noticed a little bit of a different background. These are my new bookshelves. I am gonna do a whole video on it because they are handmade by my dad. He made these shelves and this ladder and everything. So I will do a video on that. You're getting a little bit of a sneak peek, but yes, I love them so much. They're so pretty and I can't wait to organize them. Right now they're not organized at all, but they will be in the future. But I think that's all I had to tell you guys. So let's get into the books that I want to read. Here is my little stack. It's not very little, my big stack. I think that it's pretty doable because I do have a few, smaller books and some graphic novels. Ugh! And some middle grades, so hopefully it'll be doable. We'll see. But let's start off first with the book that I'm actually currently reading, which is These Hollow Vows. I'm actually on chapter 16 of this, so I'm about halfway through, and I'm loving it so far. This is so much like A Court of Thorns and Roses. I was reading some of the reviews. A lot of people said that it was kind of a ripoff of it. Personally, I don't think it's a ripoff. I actually really like it. It is a lot like A Court of Thorns and Roses, but I'm really enjoying it. I don't know, I won't ever get tired of these types of books. This is about Bree, who is our main character, and she's a redhead, so one of the main reasons that I was really excited about this. It kind of has a little bit of a love triangle. We have Prince Ronan, who's a childhood friend of the main character, and then we have Finn, who is the darker, kind of brooding character. They're both fae, and they both are from different parts of the court. So it's really good. I'm really enjoying it so far, and I can't wait to keep reading it. I haven't stopped thinking about this book since I've picked it up, so I'm really excited to finish it. Okay, next up we have Harry Potter. So I really like to read a Harry Potter book during the winter seasons. I haven't read this Mina Lima illustrated edition of it yet, so I really want to pick this one up. It's just so pretty, and I feel like it'll be the perfect book to read next to the fireplace. I definitely want to pick this one up, and I think it'll be one that will be really easy to read since I already have read it so many times. Okay, the next one I have, I feel like I've talked about a lot recently, and that is Misery by Stephen King. If you've been watching my channel lately, you'll know that my goal is to read a Stephen King novel a year. So this is the one that I need to read, and I definitely want to read this one before the end of the year, since that is a goal that I've been actually really good at accomplishing the past few years. This is about a best-selling author named Paul, and he meets his biggest fan, who then kidnaps him and keeps him captive in this cabin in the middle of nowhere. And I'm very excited to read this. I have been wanting to read Misery for a really long time. I haven't seen the movie either, so I feel like it'll be really fun to pick this up and then watch the movie. I really enjoy reading thrillers, like wintry thrillers this time of year, and I feel like it'll be the perfect little cozy time reading this, getting scared, and then watching the movie. Okay, the next one is the second book in the Mirror Visitor series. I read the first one 2 years ago now, and so I decided to pick up the second one this year. It's a pretty big book, but I really enjoyed the first one. I actually listened to this one on audiobook, and I listened to it while I did a little Christmassy puzzle and sat next to the fire. It was such a good experience the first time, and I loved the story. So definitely excited to read this one. Might have to do a little bit of a refresher on the plot of this, but the magic system in this world is really cool. The main character is able to walk through mirrors. There's also a love interest in this that a lot of people compare to Mr. Darcy because he's kind of like standoffish and a little bit cold, but he starts to warm up to the main character, Ophelia. I really enjoyed their relationship in the first book, so I'm excited to see where it's gonna go in this one. Okay, the next one is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. For maybe the past 5 years, I have been wanting to read this series again. I only got through maybe the first 3 or 4 when I was young, so I really want to pick this one up. I got these editions last year and they're just so cute. They have really pretty colored illustrations, and I really think this is the perfect middle grade wintry Christmas book. If you haven't read any of C.S. Lewis's books, I highly recommend picking up the Chronicles of Narnia. They are so good and so whimsical. They give you the best feeling ever. I love them. I cry every single time that I've read this book and watched the movie. So another book that I would love to read and then watch the movie with this year. So very excited. The next one is another thriller. This is One by One by Ruth Ware. I have only read one of her books in the past. I read The Turn of the Key, which I really enjoyed. It was such a good book. And this year, me and 2 of my friends decided to pick this one up. We do a little bit of a offline book club together, and so this is the one that we decided to pick up for the winter time, and I feel like it's the perfect winter thriller. I've heard that she took a lot of influence from Agatha Christie's books, and it's kind of a whodunit type of feel. And I personally really love Agatha Christie, so I'm excited to pick this one up, and hopefully it'll give me that same feeling as Agatha Christie books. I feel like this one is way more of a mystery than Misery by Stephen King. That one seems like it's way more of a thriller and kind of scary. I think this will be a good one to add. The next one is Lore Olympus. I love Lore Olympus. Lore Olympus was one of the reasons that I really became obsessed with Persephone and Hades. I think that this comic just really shows such a cute side, a cute retelling of Hades and Persephone, and I just love their relationship in this book. I've been wanting to read this for a long time. I've gotten pretty far into the series. In fact, I've probably read all of these, but I decided I wanted to reread them since I love Hades and Persephone so much. So yes, and this is such a beautiful bind up of the comic. For those of you who aren't familiar, this used to be a webtoon that you could read on your phone, and that is how I read it. But they made it into a bind up, a hardback bind up of it, and it's just so beautiful. And I can't wait to get back into this world and their relationship. I just adore it. Okay, the next one is A Court of Mist and Fury. This is the second book in the series, and I absolutely adored the first, and I knew that I wanted to pick this one up as soon as possible. So I'm picking it up now. This might be a book that I start during in December and then possibly finish sometime in January. To be honest, I don't like doing that. I like to finish my year off and not have any books that I'm reading, kind of start new. But this is a pretty long book. It's over 600 pages. So I feel like I might start it and not be able to finish it, but we'll see. This series has been the #1 series recommended to me, and everyone was right. I love it. And I can't wait to keep reading it. And last but certainly not least is A Christmas Carol. I have actually never read A Christmas Carol, and I've always wanted to. I've actually never gotten through a Charles Dickens book in my life, which I feel like is kind of a big deal since I am a reader. I feel like I need to read a Charles Dickens book. This is the Chiltern edition that has some colored illustrations on the inside, and I think I want to pick this one up like pretty close to Christmas and actually read my first Charles Dickens book. I feel like that'll be a pretty big accomplishment. All right, well, here is my stack of books again. It's a lot. So wish me luck. If I can read all these and do Christmassy stuff and do Vlogmas, I'm gonna be very proud of myself. Really excited to read all of these books, and I feel like I got a really good combination of some thrillers and some middle grade, a graphic novel, some fantasy, and a lot of like Christmassy winter books too. So I'm very excited. Let me know down below the books that you will be reading for this time of year, or if you have any good wintry, Christmassy recommendations, I would love to hear them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my second Vlogmas video. Bye guys, love you.